Oh, hell, I messed it up. Hey, what's up, folks? What's up? How do you mess up your own introduction? That sucks. You're supposed to get a dun 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 dun, dun then a whew. Let's try it again. Yeah. That's more like it. I'm Black Dragon. Welcome to another edition of the Black Dragon Sunday Night Roundtable. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the entire mighty world that you may happen to be. We want to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. I hope that, you guys did some, good things for your wives today. Bought them some flowers. Maybe took them out to eat, went to church. This is the day where we're thankful to the women folk in our life. And unless you were born through Immaculate Conception, well, even if you were born through Immaculate Conception, you had a mother. I mean, unless you were born from a test tube, you still had to be like, there's no way to get here yet without having come from within a mother, right? Unless like maybe they cloned you, but your egg came from somewhere. We all had a mama. We had a mama bear of some kind. My mother died in 1997. And it seems as though I have been absolutely rudderless without her. I've been a ship without a rudder without her. But we all came from somebody. So this would be the night to, even if you don't like your mama, to be thankful that she didn't use the clothes hanger on your ass, or at least she wasn't, adept at it, and you're still alive. And so we have our two guests here who I need to bail me out. What's up, Big Bone? Oh! we have Big Bone 1%er by the Outcast Nation. We got Cake 1%er from the Renegades Nation. We have OG Weasel. Cake, man, your stuff sounds crazy.
You on there?
Yeah, you're on, Cake. We just can't see your video. Well, he's sounding bad, ain't he?
I'll be in a second.
All right.
That's better. That's better.
Cake will be in here in a second. So, hey, man, Big Bone.
Sir.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you're currently doing.
Well, I'm currently eating food, but aside from that, it was a long day. I didn't get to eat. No, man, I'll tell you what. I tease about it. So I'm chairman for the COC down here in the area of Central Florida, and we're having a really good time. A lot of clubs coming together to work on stuff, which is different than what you hear about on the news all the time. But we're really getting a lot of good stuff done. We're having a lot of fun. We're riding motorcycles because people forget that we do that. But we're riding motorcycles, having a lot of fun. It's this time of year in Florida is fantastic. So the weather's just excellent every damn day. Just living the dream. Some people say that like being sarcastic. I got to say, man, I'm living the dream. Because if you can do the stuff that you want to do, and I ain't saying I'm getting paid for it, but like you can do the stuff that you want to do, and it doesn't take away from your whatever. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm glad to be here.
Man, good to have you. OG Weasel, tell us where you come from, a little bit about you.
Yo, just another old school brother, been on the set 30 plus years, done, as I said in the previous show, done moved through the progressions from the co-ed club up to the Diamond Club, and just kind of, right now, man, for the last couple of years, man, just focusing on education and helping clubs and helping brothers and, just trying to maintain the lifestyle so that we can preserve it and pass this on the way it should be passed on. So my focus right now is just working with good brothers like yourself, Bone, and everybody else who's willing to get out there and do what we got to do to pass this culture on to the next generation. So that's what I'm at right now. And besides that, man, just on the road, man, hugging necks. But that's what it's all about these days, man. Doing everything I've been doing and just repeating it and loving this stuff, man. Loving this, man. From the heart.
Can I say where you are right now? Because you're
Yo.
someplace having fun. I don't want to get you in trouble though, because you know what happened in those places stays in those places. But so you said you at the casino?
Yo, I was at the casino, man. 800 up. You called the brother and reminded me about the show. I'm glad you reached out, man. Because if you didn't reach out, I would have been 800 down in about 5 minutes. So, and let me tell you something. This lifestyle, when you give your word to a brother, you need to stick to your word. So I got my big tail up and walked out that thing. No matter how I was feeling, I said, you know what? I gave my word to another brother, and that's how we got to do right by each other. So I appreciate you in your own way, man. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, but I don't know if I'd have been 800 up.
Yo, if you don't have your words, you don't have nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it should be, man. When you say you're gonna do something in this lifestyle, man, stick to it. Be it a kickstand up time or whatever it is. Like I said, if you're riding with me, if it's 7:30, late equal left. That's always the OG Weasel math. Late equal left. So I apply that to everything that I do when it comes to this culture. So you know what it is. You know what to expect.
Late equals left. You know what, man? Oh my God. We have to do a whole show on respecting brothers' time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So we got Cake 1%er Cake, man.
Long time no see. What's going on, brothers? Oh,
what's up, man? What's up?
What's going on with you, brother? How you doing?
Life is good. Life is good. Life is good.
All right. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that's watching the show also.
We appreciate you, Kate. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, man, I'm enjoying retirement. 1%er nomad out of Rochester, New York. And I'm just getting past these 15 years and trying to live life. Still living outlaw, though.
Hey, you gotta be about it, baby. So today, or a couple days ago, this guy right here passed away. You guys might know this guy. The reason I bring it up is I particularly despised this guy. I did not like the way that he felt like it was his mission, and he made a lot of money on, in my opinion. Some folks liked him. I hated him. I hate is a strong word. I hated the mission he was on to put down black women. I just never could get with it. Some of the things that even he might have been, speaking the truth on, can be maintained within our culture. It wasn't anything that I felt was very manly to see him disgrace and put down women and our circumstances, stuff like that. And I bring that up because it is Mother's Day, as you well know, and it just seemed almost like poetic justice or something, that after all the horrible things that he would say, that he would pass away like really close to this day where we celebrate women, and we in the African American community celebrate our African queens. So I've seen a lot of stuff go on about this guy today. A lot of over the last few days, a lot of stuff that a lot of folks are not very unhappy to see him go. And I think many of us don't want to go that way, where people are not sad to see us go, but actually celebrate our passing. So the reason I bring that up is that I thought it might be kind of interesting to talk about because just about a week ago, we did another video about this idea that MC meant men's club. Remember that, Bone?
Yeah.
And we get a lot of this going on with women. And I thought, well, maybe we could spend a minute or two tonight talking about, well, what is the status of women? Let me play this real quick. This was the one that I made earlier in the week. Here, let me just go ahead and play that real quick. Let's see if that. Whoa. Really? Do something. Wow. Oh, there we go.
Time for a little myth busting here. The idea that MC ever stood for men's club and not motorcycle club, like back from our antiquity or something. MC really meant for men's club, so no women allowed. This is simply just not the truth. If you go back to the first clubs in America, like the Yonkers Motorcycle Club, which I believe started in 1903, or if you go back to Europe, which was the first motorcycle club, they weren't named such and such men's clubs. They were named motorcycle clubs. MC and MCC have always stood for motorcycle club. They might have all men in them, but it stood for, in fact, the original motorcycle clubs in the United States were co-ed. Motorcycle manufacturers were the ones that came up with motorcycle clubs back then. And the idea was to sell motorcycles to men and women. The motorcycle club that we know of today, the structures that we have today, didn't come around until after World War II. And back then, what happened after World War II is you had a lot of returning GIs. They were coming back to America. They were coming back to work. And women had all of those jobs. Women had made great strides. They were doing all kinds of things. They were out of the house and doing stuff. And industry had a need to get them back in the house, back as homemakers, and give those jobs to the men that were returning home. So you saw all kinds of programs and stuff to get women back in the house. And one of the things that you would see in the commercials, the advertisements at the time, the adverts, was it used to be that the advertising would have men and women riding motorcycles side by side. After World War II, you saw the man on the motorcycle and the woman on the back. The many traditional motorcycle clubs and top 1%er clubs that you may think of or mention their names every day, these clubs had full patch women riders until something, maybe the 60s, late 70s, when the war started, and a lot of these clubs decidedly took the women out. So women were always part of motorcycling in the beginning, and MC stood for motorcycle club, not men's club. So what we have today is something that is kind of transformed from what it was back then, but that never has been true. MC stands for Motorcycle Club today, and it stood for Motorcycle Club in yesteryear. Capiche?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, to say that, to bring that up, I wanted to bring that up because I wanted to talk about the let's say the status, the role of women in today's motorcycle clubs. If if women are in today's motorcycle clubs, but not necessarily members of today's motorcycle clubs, what is their role, and what should it be? And if it's a woman looking at this today on Mother's Day, and you want to show her something like this, let's talk about what are women's roles in traditional MCs and 1% clubs today. What are their roles? So I thought I would bring that up. What do you think, Bone?
Man, first, I wanted to kind of jump back to what you said in regard to MCs, the misuse of the thing about MCs being a man, MC meaning man's club. That's the thing that some of the brothers will say to each other. Like, that's the way of telling a guy, hey, you're in my club, man up. That's a way of saying, hey, this club doesn't have women members in this particular club. But it's inaccurate to suggest that MC ever actually in real life meant man's club, because here's the thing. The Motorcycle Queen of Miami, that's Bessie Stringfield. They do all over the country. I was sorry to hear that some of these organizations are stopping they're ceasing to do the Bessie Stringfield rides. Bessie Stringfield, for those of y'all that don't know, was a little black woman back before the Second World War. When she was 16 years old, she got her a motorcycle and rode that some gun all over the doggone planet, even to Brazil and all over Europe, Haiti, all kinds of different places. She was the first that we know of, the first black woman to ride across the country, and a few times, like a couple of 3 times, she rode back and forth across the United States. Here's the thing, how that relates to what we're talking about. One, she's a woman, so in the spirit of the Mother's Day thing, but more importantly, she started the first motorcycle club in Florida. And this was in the, I want to say this was in the 1930s, or as you were, 1930s or 1950s. I forget which. But the club is called the Iron Horse Motorcycle Club. And that was a club that was started by a woman. So of course it was a co-ed club. But all of the clubs back in the day, I'm speaking the early 1900s, all the clubs were co-ed clubs. There was no such thing as a men only club or a woman only club. It was just clubs. Now, where we are nowadays in 2022, over the past 100 years, give or take, things have changed. But so that's first thing. Second thing, there's definitely a place for women in the MC community. They've been here the whole while, and their role varies based on the club or the brothers that they're associating with. There are female only clubs. There are female versions, or like sister clubs, if you will, to very well known MCs. In the case of, even in the case of OMCs, and even certain one percenter clubs have female support clubs that are all women. And like you've heard me say before, these women get down. So I'm never one to slight the women or blow them off or say that they're less than. No, they absolutely have a role in this lifestyle. And I've seen women stand 10 toes down the same way I've seen men do it. So I got, nothing but love and respect.
So, Cake 1%er, what's your take on it?
I respect everything Bone says. I mean, we both walk the lifestyle, and I have no arguments with that. But I do have some disagreements about my man Kevin Samuels, who's a personal friend.
Oh yeah, right on, right on.
I mean, I don't think that he was actually putting the mission out on black women, degrading black women. I think that was just the focus of his audience were black women, and I think he was just trying to give a dose of reality on what women are expecting of men today and what men should be expecting of women today. It is so far-fetched to find someone that is compatible, if you understand, because we at a time where women feel like they don't need a man. You know what I mean? We need each other. And since all of this women's lib and all of this GTQ and all of this other nonsense going on, and the struggles of black power after the 60s and 70s, taking fathers out of the home, I think it sent out a bad message to women and both men. We need each other. If not, we're a dying breed. We're a dying breed now because we don't have the structure of both hierarchies in the household. But I think he was basically putting out there, some women that have, a lifestyle that they enjoy, this partying lifestyle, have all of these different men and children and things like that, and then want to have a man that has no children, that has his head together and things like that. They feel that those men are supposed to pick up the dead weight that their deadbeat boyfriends had. And
well, you know what? We'll do that. We'll do that show.
Okay.
Because I don't like that guy. But anyway, we'll do that show.
But as far as
I do respect that, but we'll do that show. But let's do this one.
Yeah.
And I'll take it back for right now.
Okay, for right now at least.
Right now, I'll take it back.
As far as women with the club, I got a dynamite property right now. My PO is, you know what I mean? When it was time to get it in, we was on the road. No questions asked, no nothing. Just pack your bag, baby. Where you want me to go? Well, you take first ride, and then I'll sleep, and we get there when we get there. Don't ask no more questions.
So today's club, and then somebody wrote here. I read that. Did I just see Invader Shaggy's name on here?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
What's up, Shaggy?
Good to see you, Shaggy, man. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. And deliver a happy Mother's Day to the missus for us. So someone said if the only difference is that men went to war and that's why women can't be one percenters, outlaws, then maybe it's time to reconsider women been going to war. It's doing different times now.
Wait a minute,
So
who said that? No, I mean, whoever said that that's the reason.
uh, I've heard that said. I've heard that said. I don't know if that's the reason, but I have heard it said before.
That's one of them old wives' tales.
Yeah, I do believe though, because I've always been known that the MC. I think it's just to differentiate, the nonsense that go on. When you want to separate the cubes, the MC cubes, where it be motorcycle club, you know what I mean, and then they give their own identity
Right.
as a club that can be cold, whatever they want in it. You understand what I'm saying? Basically, we do that solid cube. It is motorcycle club, but it's men's club because of who we are. You know what I mean? Just like Bones said, man up. You know what I mean? We're not playing those kind of games that other clubs would do. And now that the traditions are no longer existence, where you have all these different clubs wearing 3-piece rockers and things like that, there has to be some kind of way that we have to set ourselves apart.
Preach.
You understand what I'm saying? I know there's only a few colors in the rainbow, but when you have 3 pieces and somebody see you blowing down the street, they don't know if you Outcast. They don't know if you Wheels. They don't know if you Thunder Guy. They don't know this thing. All they see is that 3-piece. You understand what I'm saying? And you have some of these women that get into these clubs. They don't have the integrity to get on a motorcycle, but they'll try to sleep anywhere in the club. Whoever got the power is power, pussy, and protection, and they want to be in that crowd. You understand? So that's where that comes from. So as far as it being a man's club, when you got MC on that cube, yes, I take it. I appreciate having my own where I have my cube together, my MC. And motorcycle clubs should have theirs MC, separate cubes. You understand? And then they will understand that there are motorcycle clubs. As for women, I would appreciate if they was in a club and they would write out of respect, motorcycle club. You understand what I'm saying? And that just takes a lot of the drama out of it. There's no questions about it. You are a motorcycle club. Just like a ride club will be RC. You know what I'm saying? They got their own distinguishment. And I appreciate that.
What's happened though, and you kind of touched on this a little bit, Cake. I think what happens is, and I hate saying this, but again, it's what happens is some of this stuff is geographical or regional,
Right.
but what you are saying is correct. Like a couple of things. One, in regard to that 3-piece patch, man, we have screwed the pooch on that thing horrible. And I say we, meaning the MC community throughout the country. It used to be, and Dragon, me and you have talked about this before. There are diamond clubs that have a 1-piece patch, and that's fine because you know who they are and that's how they get down. But that 3-piece patch denotes something different. Typically and historically, that 3-piece patch was for OMCs. That means something different to us. For those of us who's been around for more than 20 minutes, when we see a 3-piece patch, that means something different than a 2-piece patch or a 1-piece patch. I remember a time in which a female club could only have a 1-piece patch. Now and then when they transition, like as times change and all this other kind of stuff. So like I can say in my area, it's most common. I won't say exclusively, but it's most common for female clubs in this area, at least the ones that we deal with and that we might give some direction or some help with. Their joint's going to say motorcycle spelled out and club spelled out because that's the correct way to do it. And I think what happens is, and the one subject that we talk about so much is that we're supposed to be the stewards of the tradition and the culture, and when people look the other way or let this stuff get watered down, then that's where the confusion comes in. None of this suggests that the women aren't the baddest. Hey, Miss Wiggles from Fierce Angels, I saw you. But none of this is to suggest that women aren't don't have a place here. They do, but at the same time, the one thing I like to say, and this is, I'm going to sound like that dude that just passed away when I say this, but the set, the set, this especially on the diamond side, this is where men are men and women are damn glad about it. I'm straight up. Women, a lot of women gravitate toward, and y'all all heard it. Oh, these girls, they jocking me because I got this bike, or they chasing this patch. The truth of the matter is that there's a certain bravado, and I'm not saying that every guy who's thumping on his chest and all this, but there's a certain swagger, there's a certain bravado, there's a certain confidence. More importantly, that's probably a more correct word. There's a certain confidence that brothers in real clubs enjoy, that we have, that's attractive to women. Because if this chick's been going to her 9 to 5, dealing with some skinny jean wearing, man bun having, let me go get my nails done and my eyes waxed and all this kind of stuff, Monday through Friday, let me tell you, by Friday at 5:30, she is over it, because that does nothing for her. And I'm speaking in a broad term, right? Guess what? You don't get that in the MC. In fact, some of these so and so's, you had, hey, calm down, Tarzan. Sometimes you gotta tell them to lower that testosterone a minute. This is a place where men are men and women are glad about it. And it don't mean those women aren't women. They are, and we love them. But we're men the same way. So that's what that magical thing is. So it's not really about patch chasing and all that kind of stuff. Is that, hey, we appreciate women for who they are and what they are, and we don't make no misgivings about them being somebody else. All this touchy feely stuff this ain't a rom com. This is a set. This is a motorcycle set. So we get down the way we get down. That's why I love it. And it's a no judgment zone too. People can be who they want to be, and those women can be who they want to be. They can come dressed from head to toe in leather and with they doggone they riding gear on and all like that. Or she can come out there in a mini skirt and some fishnets and do that too. And nobody is going to judge her for being whoever the hell she feels like being. This is the environment where women can truly be women, and where they can truly be free. You talk about women's lib and everything. Hey, let that girl do what she wants to do. As long as she stays in her lane, the same way we got to stay in our lane. I'm never going to go up to Cake's PO and be, girl, come here and da 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 da. No, that says right there. That's Cake's old lady. I'm not illiterate. I can read, so I know what time it is. I know how to act, and that's a powerful position for a woman to be in, because she don't have to say a word. Hey, you see that right there? She good. Everybody knows how to play their position. That's what happens in the MC. That's what makes it wonderful. That's one of the reasons why women gravitate toward this. There's girls that don't even ride a motorcycle who love this thing because they love the style of this thing. They love, again, men can be men, and the women love the fact that those men are men. You ain't gonna see no man buns. Just saying.
We keep losing our brother OG Weasel. I don't know what's going on with the system, but so let's talk about the various roles women have within traditional and outlaw motorcycle clubs. What are their roles? So we'll talk about the 99% of variety for a minute. So we have in motorcycle clubs, we have women's auxiliary, which in our days we would have the men's club, and then the women, mostly wives or something like that, would be the women's auxiliary. So they don't have a vote in the club, but they wear a patch very similar, and they are part of the club. Not to the level of a property, but definitely kind of much like what we would think of in an outlaw club. I guess that'd be the closest proximity. And then we have some clubs will have a women's riding auxiliary that'll have a certain kind of name. So that you'll see that in a traditional motorcycle club. That's a 99% club. And then we'll see some 99% clubs have property ofs. So those are like 3 levels. And then there was also the support variant that you might see, and also you might see a social club that's attached to a motorcycle club. So these are 4 ways in which women participate in the 99% world. So OG Weasel, you want to speak on any of that? Welcome back.
Well, just bring me up to speed. Sorry about the disconnection. Just bring me up to speed with what the exact question was, the topic was on that.
So we're talking about the roles of the actual roles that women play in motorcycle clubs today in the 99% variety.
It's you know what? Let's just go back a little bit further. Okay, let's just talk about women first coming to the set and the embracement of women and going from a backpack to an actual biker or to a supporter or a rider. You got to realize that first of all, this is a sign of progression. Okay, and if I'm progressing in something, sometimes you got to really sit back and let that process take its own place. And a lot of times, in what we do in this lifestyle, you'll find out that your place in the situation will automatically happen. You'll just fall into that position, whatever it may be. If it may be a koi club, or if you feel you're the property type. So even though we have these definitions from POs to support to everything else, you can't, as a female, let me say this, as a female, you got to realize how this whole thing started. This was definitely a man's club. So when you come into somebody's house, like, I don't come to your house and be hostile. You got to be humble and let people embrace you for who you are and what you do. And you don't need to tell me who you are and what you're doing. If you're doing the right thing and you're righteous about it, then people are going to know. And in that situation, you got to be able to sit back and look at and see what it really is. You know what I'm saying? If you come into a co-ed club and you feel that, like, this isn't right for me, I like the ride, but I really don't like the politics, but I like this brother here, then you have to define within yourself. And within this equation, am I probably somebody that should be linked to a PO, to a brother, or to a club? So it's kind of like, even though you have these different platforms, I think it all comes down to you understanding, like you just broke it out, these different tiers that we have. And you got to find out when you fall out in that equation. And when you fall into that particular role, then you got to know how to play that role. You can't be a PO. Then if you're a PO, you're not an outlaw. You're just the outlaw of a PO. You know what I'm saying? A PO of an outlaw. So it's kind of like, a lot of times we get out of pocket in who we are in the situation. So, but in terms of the roles, I mean, there's so many parts to this. I just believe in a natural progression, and you not walking into the set with an agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a certain type of person, then that role is going to find you. Like I always say this, things will find you in a situation, and you don't need to predefine it or try to go out there to create something. Like, you don't need to act like I'm a female outlaw and we're going to walk around this way and we're going to present this demeanor. Like, that doesn't exist. There's some facets that's out there, but certain things don't exist. My thing is just that within those couple of tiers, that's kind of, it is what it is, man. It's very basic, and you can't build on what foundation is there. That's something that's already molded, and you've been accepted, so embrace it for what it is.
Hey, let me jump in there real quick, and this isn't. I'm not attacking or trying to debate or anything, but OG Weasel, one little things. So one thing was, and what you said was correct in regard to females coming on the set and realizing that it's a male dominated environment. That's true, but this shit is real cyclical in the sense that as we were discussing before, when all of this motorcycle club stuff first came out, everything was co-ed back in the day. It didn't really change until after the war. But prior to that, it was all mixed. In fact, here in Florida, where I am, I mentioned earlier, Bessie Stringfield, the first motorcycle club in Florida, was started by Bessie Stringfield, Iron Horse Motorcycle Club. That was a mixed club, and little black girl started it, and that was weird. That was extremely weird on a lot of levels because of who started it and who was in it and all that kind of stuff. The other thing is, and I'm sure you didn't mean it in this fashion, but when you said whether or not she's just a PO or just it, but hey, as it relates to POs, I know with us anyway, I can tell you our POs are a lot more than just a PO. Our POs we look at them like they are made out of 24 karat gold. Now our relationship, you know what I'm saying? It's like our POs, we don't even let, without going into too much club stuff, but I'll tell you like this, when we get together and we decide, hey, we're going to ride from point A to point B, the only person that's going to ride in front of a PO is a bro. That's it. Like they get mad respect. Right. But by the same token, a proper PO is going to earn it. I was reading some of the comments. Some people was talking about, a ride or die is more important than some people want to admit. But I've said this thing for many expression that I say, and I've been saying it for years, is that a good PO or good POs can make or break a chapter or a nation. You get some good ones. You get some good ones, man. They're gonna lift y'all up and let you do what you do. And like there's one sister I have. She likes to say, "Hey, these POs, we're the neck that turns that head to let them brothers focus on what they need to focus on." It almost sounds manipulative, but guess what? Sometimes them POs sitting back and in their lane, staying in their lane, they can help. They can and do help. And you got some good POs in a chapter. Guess what? Them brothers gonna get down. They're gonna do what they need to do, and they can be busy staying outlaws. And them POs, hey, we got all that other stuff. We got that. So it's never it's some people say, oh, it's a subservient and it's this and another thing. Nah, that's also a very cyclical relationship, and those relationships based on the different tiers that Black Dragon was talking about. Everybody's got their role. The problem that we always get, though, here's where problems come in: when folks don't stay in their lane. I mean, whether we talking about the men or the women. When folks like you were just saying, OG Weasel, when you got some woman who wants to show up and, oh, I'm outlaw bad and da 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 da, man, be who you really are. You know what I mean? Stay in your lane, whatever that is, because when folks stay in their lane, everything else kind of works out.
So we have.
Let me just before you go on Black Dragon. I appreciate that comment, bro. And what I was saying, like not in a negative, not in a derogatory way. It was more so. And I think I probably worded it the wrong way. Let me tell you something. I respect all the POs because we all know that there's some hardcore POs about there that's about the nations. And like you said, they definitely are the neck to keep things on the swivel. You know what I'm saying? So we have to respect that, and some of those POs, they hardcore. I mean, not for nothing. They really about their business. So you can't discredit that. And like you said, at the same time, you have to know your position in that situation, as if as with any situation, and then going back to the Bessie Bells thing, you're right, Bessie.
Yeah.
Yes, you are right. That does in fact go back. I should have referenced it that we see it more pronounced over the last 25 years. So you're starting to
absolutely
more of an integration of that. So the thing is, now that embracement is truthfully open on the set, then to realize that there was a way that was a path that was paved, so that let me respect that path and let me come here humble and let me just do what I do. You know what I'm saying? You can't come out pounding your chest and be like, yo, I'm here and I'm riding my bike and I'm showing you brothers up. Let me tell you something right now. If you come to any brother, you trying to challenge him, it's just not, you're not going to be embraced. No, a brother's not going to be feeling you for trying to show him up or outride him or anything else. Just if you're riding together, then let that brother ride his ride. Let that brother be a man. You know what I'm saying? By nature, we are taught to lead. We ain't trying to discredit nobody. Let me tell you something, man. I've had some females chase me down on the road and show me up, and I give them accolades all day.
Yeah.
That's what you can do. Yo, my lid off to you. I can say names right now. I can go through 100 names of chicks that can outride me any given day. But you know what? They don't got to come to me and be like, yo, Weasel, man, I bust your tail on that highway. It's like,
right.
They humble about it. We laugh about it and we keep it moving. And I respect them more so for being humble in that situation.
Yeah.
So if we all are doing that, like if I respect you as a rider and a hardcore rider at that, and if you're in the lifestyle, then you know what? Take those accolades and run with it. And all that respect or validation that you try to get, it's going to come to you with time as you do more in this culture.
True.
So let's go back to the delineation. So one of our guys is saying that he had a lot of questions and he hopes somewhere are being answered. And Mania Records or Mina Records, I'm not sure how to say it. He said I was confused. It seemed like once the war hit, that was a defining moment of no more co-ed. So what really happened with clubs is, when they first started selling motorcycles, they were trying to sell them to everybody. So it was the motorcycle clubs, or it was the motorcycle manufacturers that were really supporting clubs, giving awards for the best dressed and all that. That's kind of how you got motorcycle clubs dressing alike and that sort of thing. When the war came, the men went off to the war and the women took the jobs, and they were doing all kinds of cool things, riding motorcycles and all that. At the end of the war, you had the men coming back, and there was a need to give the jobs to the men and put the women back in the home. So you saw the culture kind of change. And one of the things that you saw, if you ever saw like the advertisements of that day, is you used to have men and women riding side by side. And then after the war, you would have the man riding and the woman on the back of the bike. So
Yep.
American culture and the end of the war and the rise of bringing back the men to the workforce is part of some of the things in society that led towards the splitting up of the clubs and the women not having as big a role. And eventually, as things went, clubs, became what we see clubs are of today. So we speak of women and their roles in clubs today, and you guys spoke a lot about properties. But we also have auxiliary, so we have two different kinds of clubs. We have the outlaw club. Now, in the outlaw club, is there anything more than POs? Is there something else? Old ladies? Is there some other kind of a status?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a bunch.
Oh
So
yeah, there's a bunch of different ones. You have chapter POs that take care of the business of the club, such as parties and things like that. If a brother needs help doing something, or a PO needs help taking care of parties and things like that, she's there. You know what I mean? Um, and I just wanted to just touch on to something real quick that you said about the separation. When men came back, they weren't accepted into society as anything. You know what I mean? So they use these clubs as outlets. You understand? And that's another reason why it became a man's club, because more or less women weren't allowed to be around these guys that were rejected in society. A lot of them came back with called shell shock, what we know as PTSD, you know, and they weren't accepted in that. So when they came out and developed this club atmosphere where we can talk, bull jive with each other and drink and tell lies and things like that, that was done around men. You understand what I'm saying? And the women, they would be home. And then when it started becoming where, people started bringing their wives around, they started calling them POs and things like that. The women stayed with the women and the men stayed with the men. You know what I mean? And like my man said, a lot of women can ride hard, you know what I mean? But I don't think they can ride hard in my pack. When I'm doing 90 miles an hour with 90 men in the back of me, I'm not trying to take that chance of a woman not being sure of herself and wipe out my men in the back. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why she needs to go ahead and jump on the back of this bike, and we're gonna keep on moving it. But
Yeah.
another thing that I wanted to say about these auxiliaries and things like that, I would greatly appreciate if all these auxiliaries and all of these different clubs and stuff like that, I don't mind doing the armbands. I think a lot of them need to do armbands or soft colors. When they put on these rags, I think it's a misrepresentation of who they are. You understand? And who they belong to.
Now you're talking about something now that's really only seen on the black biker set. Is that out there on the white biker set? I don't think so.
no, that's not on the white set.
You wouldn't see that stuff on there, but I'm saying that it should be, because a lot of these affiliations with these girls, you have so many social clubs that want to throw on vests. And the vests or the cuts or all of these different names that they would call them, they're associated with an organization. And just because you feel like you're going to be sociable and you want to do things in the community, I don't think that a leather vest should come to play in doing it. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to be a club, throw an armband on, throw a t-shirt on, some soft colors, whatever you want. But I think by representing everybody's wearing motorcycle vests, I don't think that is acceptable. Me, myself, personally.
The thing about that is this goes back to this reoccurring theme that we're probably going to do about 50 more times this year, which is those concerns are the responsibility of you and me and you, Dragon, and you too, OG. I see you there, Weasel. But the thing is, what we have to do is we have to set the pace and reinstitute the standard, because again, a lot of the stuff we do starts getting watered down. So in order to correct those things, we have to really direct people in the proper way. And that means sometimes some of our own brothers have got to be either educated, re-educated, reminding them of stuff that they knew but they forgot because it's been 20, 30 years. Hey, we got to, and like I like to say, get back to basics, you know. And again, not to at all suggest that women are lesser than, but there is a place. And both of y'all said a similar thing, but a different thing. Like both, we all can agree that hey, it's some women that can ride and ride hard. But Cake, you said, hey, when I'm riding, 90 miles an hour, and well, like we say, 90 miles an hour and 3 feet apart. That's how my brothers build trust. That's the thing we do. I actually know, and I'll keep it 100. I don't know a lot, but right hand of Jesus, I know some females, two of which are POs in my chapter who can get down, who can ride just like the bro.
that. Yes,
but,
sir.
But at the same time, Cake, to give you your props, that ain't everybody, but it is some. So I just go. I mean, this is just a me thing. I'm like, hey, if you can ride for real, for real ride. Okay, do your thing. If you can, no problem. You can ride bitch or wait. We don't say that no more. Well, are we even allowed to say that?
We say ride pillion now.
Backpack. All right. Look, I'm old school. We used to say, hey, ride bitch, but or backpack, like that.
Yeah, we say ride pillion now. That's the
how you put it? Say it again. Pillion. I gotta learn this new stuff.
So listen, so I'm sure some of our white brothers are like, "What the hell are these guys talking about?"
Right, yeah.
So in the Black Biker set, there is a riding. It is a social construct known as the social club, and it's only really on the Black Biker set. I've never seen it anywhere else. Like I haven't seen it in the Hispanic biker set or anything like that. And it is where you have actual clubs of we would think of them as support clubs, but they've actually defined themselves very differently now. They have their own situations where these are mostly charitable organizations, but they support the Black Biker set very heavily, and they have their own clubs. These social clubs have their own names and their own clubs, and they have presidents and vice presidents and road captains and stuff too now. And but they don't ride motorcycles. But they do dress very much like bike clubs in that they have vests and they have colors. They actually have colors. I've even seen 3-piece patches on some of these. And there are some people, like for instance, Fast Harley's Only is on, and he made a statement: there's no such thing as a motorcycle vest. A leather vest is a leather vest, and he sees no problem in a woman wearing any color vest, because what has happened on the Black Biker set lately over the last few years is that the women have been allowed to keep those vests, Cake, but they've been forced out of the black vest. So if you're going to be on the set, your vest can't be black. It can be pink or green or whatever, but it can't be black. These are some of the things that I've been aware of that have happened. So, and so the black vest is now, for the motorcycle clubs themselves and things like that. And you can't have a motorcycle on your vest if you're not riding, stuff like that. So, but you do have a lot of people that are more progressive, like Big Cell and his organization, that are all for women having those vests and being more and more equal. Is that what we're coming to? Are women going to have the same access?
We're talking about not trying to debate with Big Cell, but this is what I refer to a lot, is that it's, oh, by the way, 1906 phenom, I see you, girl, but it's regional, it's geography. California moves different than Florida. Georgia moves different than Florida, and we're right next door. But certain things are just different, and then certain ideologies are just different. So the thing is, though, is that the way that it's, and you just hit on it a second ago, BD, when you said that, okay, social clubs, it's been it's been social clubs have been instructed to, hey, if you're going to wear that leather vest, it needs to be pink, blue, plaid, whatever. It can't be black. Well, that's because the reason for that is to differentiate a social club from a motorcycle club or an MC. There's reasons for that that a lot of folks, unfortunately, they for whatever reason they don't really embrace the genuine tradition of this thing. And but there's reasons. There's a lot of reasons. I'm censoring myself a little bit, but there's reasons as to why it is that social club does not want to be confused for a motorcycle club. They really don't want to be confused for a motorcycle club in certain circumstances. It doesn't mean that they can't do what they do. Of course, they should. This is America still, so they should have a outlet to do what they want to do. And in most cases, what they do is a major benefit to everybody on the set. I love the social clubs. There used to be a social club, Drama Free Divas, back in the day. Man, I was a big fan of them. The way they got down and what they did for not just my club, but many other clubs in the area. Man, they were worth their weight in gold, and they wore blue vests and was glad to have them blue vests, and it wasn't that much of a big deal, you know. But in some areas, like you just said, Kate, in some areas they break out, like in North Carolina. They got them armbands, and some of them like them Foxy Late or Sexy Curves or Foxy Curves or whatever. They got them armbands with the thing on them. I'm like, oh damn! But considering the chicks that are doing that, they ride their bikes. They ride for real, for real. They all look fantastic. They get down, and the way that they do, and the money that they raise, and the people that they help, man. Even if somebody had a problem with it, they gonna shut the hell up and let them girls do their thing, because they've distinguished themselves in such a fashion, whereas they've made the imprint on the culture by doing what they do. So that's the way to do it, though, not just to slap just a cookie cutter what those girls are doing. They earn their position on the set. And that's the thing that everybody keeps missing, is just that just because these guys did, or just because these ladies did it, that doesn't mean everybody should be able to do it. The thing that everybody wants to miss is those certain women earn their way on the set. They earn their respect, and the way they did it is by being of a benefit to the folks that they fuck with, whoever their dominant is, and all the clubs in that community. So they're loved and respected. That's a different thing than just saying everybody can do it. It's not that way.
Right. Well, the one thing that I wanted to say about Cell, though, you know, he made the statement that a vest is a vest and anybody should wear it. That anybody should be in Fast Harley, even if they ride a Honda Gold Wing.
Right.
I should be a part of that.
So I think you got to be on a Harley to be in Fast Harleys only.
Well, who says? I mean, I wear a three-piece. I wear a three-piece rocker, and I see everybody wearing three-piece rockers, including, some of these sports clubs and some of these social clubs.
Now Big Shell also says that he does not claim motorcycle club. Fast Harleys only is a riding association.
Oh, okay, they're riding association. My Gold Wing is fast. I want to be a part of that association. You know what I mean?
Let's leave Big Cell alone, man.
Check it out. I hope you don't try to come up here with all those people from trying to get up here to Niagara Falls. Cause I told them there's no entry up here to Niagara Falls for all these people from the South.
Okay. All righty. Okay, we're gonna move on.
Before you move on, BD, let me tell you something. Not for nothing, man. The brothers, we definitely appreciate the women who came to the set, because if you think back in the days when we would be at the clubhouses or be at the parties, it'd be like 50 dudes and one chick. And when they say the term sausage party, let me tell you, that was, man, and we was all chasing the same skirts, man. It was disgusting. And we all thought we had game. So you know what? It was disgusting, man.
I wasn't disgusted.
But check it out. But not for nothing, I think that's why we embraced it, because they brought that flavor and that diversity to the set. And at that time, it was maxed out, and you just wanted more. And they came right through the door at the perfect time. It was like, we're here and we're gonna support. We welcomed them. We didn't chase them away. It slowly happened, and we didn't realize it. But we got used to seeing them. They started coming one club at a time, and then it was 2 or 3. Before you know it, everybody had their own little social club and a little female MC started to come up, and we appreciated it. But my thing is, see, everybody's quick to blame the diamond clubs for them not being righteous in the way they do it. And the thing is, those club leaders are who we need to look at as well, because they need to say, hey, listen, where are we at and what are we doing? We're going to this situation. We're guests. How do we walk in this house? So the onus also goes back on those club leaders. And then, come on, I mean, nowadays we in 2022, we all know what it is. And if you ain't doing something right, you know what it is, because you got platforms like this that's constantly educating you. And a lot of people are just not grown enough yet after all this education to correct the issue. So, I mean, this is going to be what this is going to be. This is going to be an ongoing conversation about best and about females in their positions. But the thing is, one club at a time, if y'all can say, this is the true pecking order, we know what the pecking order is, let's just fall in line. And this is all have fun. You don't have to identify yourself as being a MC or whatever you're claiming to be, or RC, MC. Just fall in line and do what you do. You know what I'm saying? All this extra stuff, like if you putting on the vest and you're putting on certain things, like you were saying, Big Bone, is that you emulating something. You're trying to emulate, and like you said, you need you need to know in a situation who's the diamond. If everybody started wearing a diamond, but you didn't have the one in it, well, it's like, I think he's a diamond. Like, we need to know who's who, so that when you come out in the set and somebody's talking to you, you know who you're talking to, and that kind of keeps that identifier in place. That's why people wear those title patches, because you need to know who they are in the situation. If that sergeant at arms is coming to you, that's on his chest. He's letting you know, I'm the man that's going to handle the situation right now.
Yeah. So my question now is there, so are we established, have we established now that, so there is a place for women on the biker set more than just pass around and set girls? They've
No.
a place of respect.
Just kidding.
He said that fast. He didn't even let you finish.
But I was just playing. Don't be trying to mess up some stuff now.
Black Dragon said they do that a lot. But there's a place for women on the set in today's biker clubs that not necessarily what the stereotypes may be. People have, as we've established, the women's roles are superior. They help us be who and what we are. I think that would be important to get out for so many folks that think that we're nothing but Neanderthals. I mean, we are Neanderthals, but think we're nothing but Neanderthals, and we don't know how to treat women. And all women are set pass arounds. And when you join a motorcycle club, you got to be passed around from person to person. These are some of the terrible things that they say about us.
With that said, man, like I said, it's different from the black set and the white sets. You hear all of the different horror stories. You know what I mean? A lot of them are just stories. Because my PO have a good time with the rest of the POs and with the bros and all that stuff. We just one family. You understand what I'm saying? That property that's just a traditional thing. But my wife is like my motorcycle. My bro ain't gonna ride my motorcycle at all. You understand what I'm saying? And that goes for everybody in our club. Now, if a woman who belongs to the club as a chapter PO, if she decides that she wants to date somebody, she needs to talk to her sponsor. But as far as passing them around and all that other kind of stuff, we're not with that. We're not into prostitution. We're into having fun, telling lies, and riding our motorcycles. That's it.
When I tell a biker story, they're all real. I don't want y'all. I had to walk to school in the snow. I told my younger ones I had to walk to school in the snow uphill both ways. And so my kid figured out, he was like, both ways? How do you walk uphill both ways? I said, because we had to walk in a circle.
Now give me another beer.
Exactly.
Right. Yo, I'll tell you, man. Real talk. I love this subject, and it's very apropos that it happens to be on Mother's Day, because these, the thing about the round table, speaking of which, that's so cool, is that we get to talk about stuff, again, within reason and, sensitive as it needs to be, but we get to talk about stuff to dispel a lot of the BS that folks are thinking. People got a lot of wrong way of thinking about stuff, and we get to dispel that. But as it relates to women, yes, of course, women definitely have a place in this lifestyle. And guess what? I'm going to keep it 100. There is, and I'm not saying to pass around per se, but there's some girls who love what we do, and they love it so much to where they gonna come around and they gonna get down the way that they want to. But those are grown ass women. They ain't 12. They're 20, 30, 40, 50 something. They get down the way that grown women do, because in this environment, this is a no judgment zone. Do what you do, as long as you ain't hurting me or my brothers. Man, girl, do your thing, right? So there's that. But then there's wives, there's girlfriends, old ladies. There's we were talking when we were talking about this a little earlier, Kate, the different names or the different tiers or whatever. There's old ladies and POs and house mouse, and y'all don't even know about a house mouse. That's a whole other thing, depending on whether you're on the black set or the white set, as to what that house mouse is, and whether you up north, down south, or out west. The house mouse is a different thing. But the thing is, though, is that this is a wonderful thing, man. There's definitely a place for women to be here. And some women, I was reading some of the comments, some women are like geared up, ready for the fight and ready for the, but over the course of this conversation, I think they've been able to hear different than what they've been thinking. So they're not hearing none of this, all this pass around stuff and all like this. Because guess what? Matter of fact, hey, let me do a shameless plug, shout out for my doggone POs. And by the way, you can have more than one PO. What? Yes, you can have more than one PO. PO number one, doggone Backbones. Happy Mother's Day to you. She does her thing. Love you. Mwah. Did that look cool when I did it? Mwah. Like, okay. Then I gotta work on that. All right. Then thick bone. Happy Mother's Day to you. This girl gets it in. She does her thing. She's loved and appreciated by everybody in the chapter, just like Backbones. Doggone Low Bones. She's a new one. Hey, happy Mother's Day to you too, because apparently they all got kids. Wasn't me. I wasn't even there that day. But no, for real though, man. It's definitely a place for these POs and these social clubs and these doggone RCs and all of that. There's a place for them here, and it's not the kind of thing where they need to be scared to get involved or this, that, and other thing. Girl, if you ride your thing, and even in certain cases, social clubs, even if you don't, if this lifestyle speaks to you, get involved.
Let me say one thing real quick, all right? Before you go backtrack, let me say one thing. First of all, if you're a female on the set, be it MC or SC, you have to learn how to move, okay? And when I say that, meaning that let's say you in a quiet club, right? And you and a brother decide to get it in, like if that situation doesn't work out, like stop right there. Because we all know that we've seen some chicks going through brothers in clubs and in nations, and you don't realize the power of what's between your legs.
It causes wars. It causes war.
Man, I need to buy some of that in a box and just pull it out when I got an issue. I'm telling you that alone, this goes back to, this is not the bros. These are the women. Because y'all not moving religiously, because y'all going through these brothers, you know that, well, he spoke to his man, he said it's cool. It's never cool between bros. Like if you in a club and your brother tell you, yeah, go ahead, man, I hit that, man. I'm over that. Don't believe that. As a woman, respect
don't believe that.
Enough. Respect the culture, respect the patch, respect yourself to say, you know what? I've been through one bro in this patch. At least go to the next patch. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, but we all know. We know brothers, man, will go to war. And then when you find out what it's over, you're like, really, man? Over a piece?
This is Weasel. Weasel did that. Weasel did the nail on the head and opened the Pandora's box. So since you did it, I'll tell you like this. Real talk. I referred to it earlier, and I watered it down. But when I said good POs, y'all caught the first part, but not the second part. I said good POs, good old ladies, good women. They can make or break a bro, or they can make or break a chapter. You heard the make part, but not the break part. The break part is what he was just talking about. And by the way, the responsibility of that, it's not just the female, because you got some females who come in knowing that they messy. They knowing that they have every intention of being just as messy as we just said they was, right? The bros got to be smarter than that. And that's our, again, here it goes. Everybody here, it's our responsibility to get your bro, put him up on game. Put him up on game because he needs to understand how that works. She might have an agenda. She might be the ops. You do not know. But the thing is, though, is that if you let that one, because and here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing is the same way, that bro can get it from her. She's not the last chick on the planet Earth. You know what I mean? But when you get these bros who go at each other behind that, that's a problem. That's a problem. So the better clubs are like, hey, you know what? If there's what's the common denominator between the beef between this one and that one? It's her. No problem. Fine. Boom. She's gone. Let's get rid of that.
If they do it right.
If they do it right, yeah.
So I want to touch upon this for a few minutes. So what we didn't talk about was women's motorcycle clubs, and because my focus was on women in today's MCs, where they are in today's MCs. The whole women's motorcycle club is a whole different thing all in and to itself, and we can talk about that at another time. But if you're wondering why I didn't really talk about that is about them, is because that's really a different thing. They're not in our sets. They're in our sets, but they're not in our clubs. So I'm talking about the women attached to motorcycle clubs. You have properties, you have auxiliaries, you have old ladies, you have house mouses, you have pass arounds, you have patch chasers, you have social clubs, you have and then there's some clubs call them queens. We have the Black Sabbath goddesses and the Sisters of the Cross, so they'll break them down in different names. You might have Brothers of the Sun that might have Sisters of the Sun. So all of these are different kinds of ways that these women are attached to the MC. So let me ask you a question. Are they members? Are they quasi members? What are they? I mean, they don't get a vote, but are they important? Are they important to us in what we do? Could we live without them?
So there's this thing called Damas de la Lamas. There's a motorcycle association called ALAMAS, Latin American Motorcycle Association, and they do this thing. Whereas if a female who rides her motorcycle, if she meets the requirements by riding X number of thousands of miles within a certain period of time and some other qualifications, then she becomes she becomes a more exalted member, because the way llamas work, all you got to do is ride a motorcycle, be Latin or associated with that organization. You get patched in. It is what it is. They're a big group. But Damas de la Lamas is those females who ride and show that they have not just a propensity, but they have an excellence in riding. Those women are not that they're not sisters of their organization, but they make it real clear. Hey, I'm a dama. They say in Spanish, I'm a woman of the llamas, and that's they don't have POs. They have wives and girlfriends. But the point about all of that is that there's different classifications. Even no matter what we're talking about, there are always going to be different classifications, which does not mean that like in the outlaw world, doesn't mean that a PO is bad because she's not riding a motorcycle. It doesn't mean that that somebody's wife who's not a PO who rides a motorcycle is somehow less than. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, but I think I see where you're going with that, and I think it just literally depends on who you're talking about.
I would like to say no. I don't want no woman part of my club. It's nothing but a headache.
Oh yeah. No, I'm with that.
They get their time in the moment. Everybody, you be thinking about testosterone, but I think that estrogen be kicking in a little bit more, where it'd be a lot more cat fights and a lot more disorganization.
Oh yeah.
So them being there, they don't need no voice. If they want to have a voice, go home and yell at some kids.
No, they do their own thing. They do their own thing. Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you with that. Yes, sir.
Leave me where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Let me say this right here. I think a lot of females don't even think about this whole pecking order in terms of the female club to the co-ed to the traditional male to the overseas to the diamond club. They're not even thinking. They just kind of really, and I'm not saying this in a negative way. They just kind of here on the set, and I don't know. I just like it's like this little gray area where no one is talking about where you fall at, and it's pecking on, and it's not really being addressed. I don't think anyone's really thinking about it. They're just kind of on the set, moving and doing what they're doing. And I'm just saying, this probably is the female thinking. Like,
No,
we're paid.
I don't see that. I don't see that at all. Because even when you find women that try to get into a club, either sleeping in there, they always try to go for an officer first before they go and get a soldier.
No, wait a minute. When I was a prospect, I was never a property. I hope. When I was a prospect, there was a group of social club girls in San Diego. They only messed with prospects. There was some that only messed with presidents. There was some that only messed with sergeant at arms. And I hit the group that only messed with the young meat. They tore a brother up.
Kevin Samuels would say that they was buying what they can afford.
Oh, damn. I was the cheap meat. I was the bologna.
With hot dog money.
Oh my goodness, guys! Listen, our hour has just evaporated, just like that, man. Can you believe that? Parting comments, parting thoughts. Kate, 1%er, please go ahead.
The only thing I would like to say about this, man, is I think that the dominant organizations need to get together, regardless of whatever four corners of the United States they're in. We need to come into one order on how things should be situated. Because while we doing this show, a lot of people that are not black or on a black set, they're looking at us like they're confused, and all of these different ranks and titles and this and that and social clubs. I think that it needs to become addressed that all the nations that are out there need to come and address our set, because we are very disorganized, discombobulated, and it doesn't really look nice. You know what I mean? It takes the fun out of it. It's too many chiefs and not enough Indians, and it's just really watering it down. As far as women, I enjoy women. I love going out and seeing what we say is the 3B, bitches, beer, and bikes. That's what I enjoy. Their conversation, their looks, and that makes people motivated to go to all of these different rallies and runs, because we want to see that kind of stuff. We want to see something that's different outside of our normal 9 to 5. You understand what I'm saying? But there has to be a point where women need to respect themselves and not indulge themselves because of the glitz and glamour of a piece of cloth. You understand? It means a lot to me, but in technical eyes, it's a piece of cloth, and you can't lose your way into that kind of lifestyle.
All right, Kate, we appreciate you. Listen, I want to ask you guys this. Get this in quickly. One of the listeners wants to know about a patch he's seen lately, Protected By. Have you guys seen that? I've only seen Property Patch. I've never seen a Protected By patch. Have you guys ever seen that?
It's a vanity patch that was being passed around up north. It's not for lack of a nicer way to put it, it's not a real thing. It's something that somebody made and it got a little popular, but it's not a real thing. It's not traditional. It's not something that's recognized by anybody. So like, for example, if some guy who works at 7-Eleven, nothing wrong with 7-Eleven, but the guy that works at 7-Eleven has a motorcycle and he decides he wants to go to somebody's clubhouse or whatever, and he slaps a Protected By patch on his old lady and things go left, then things go left.
What's he going to do?
It's gonna stay left is what I'm saying.
Right. What would you say, Kate?
She's gonna be a sweet butt.
That's another name. Yeah, you're really confusing them right now.
And then somebody asked, what about sister clubs where the girls have their own riding MC that's sponsored by an MC? You guys seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that. Like I said, it's just a lot of disorganization amongst us. We are so busy doing what we're doing, and we're just letting these people just come up with anything that they want to, and it's just slipping through the cracks, and it's just getting watered down because one person does it, then they set a bad example, and the person that got a bad example set the next bad example. It's something that we need to get together and reorganize on our set.
You know, somebody made a comment about they're not about female clubs shouldn't be sponsored by a male MC. The thing about that is that so the way, and this is what Cake is saying, is that we need to get together, have some understanding and some organization throughout the country on how things are supposed to go. Right now, it's very regional. It's very geographical, very regional. The thing is, though, the reason that stuff like that, the reason that somebody who's not on the set can have an opinion and so forth, or say, oh, it ought to be such and such, is because shit got watered down. Once upon a time, a person like that would understand, hey, that's not your call. You know, that's not your call at all. But the reason that is because of certain amounts of disorganization. I'm not saying it's all fucked up, but it absolutely can do better. So again, I charge every one of us to do a better job working with the folks that we work with and influencing the people that we influence to make sure that things get like they're supposed to be, like unilaterally, like in our regions and throughout the country. That's that's where COCs come in, so folks can talk.
A lot of us that have this power will make certain exceptions when a skirt comes your way, and listen, we need something a little different than what's going on out here, and what can you do for me? And we see a lot of that happening because of that too. I don't want to go too far into that. I got Cake howling up there, so we're gonna let it go. We got an hour. Let's hear your parting words, OG Weasel, sir.
Yo, ladies, on a positive note, happy Mother's Day. It's beautiful to see y'all doing what y'all do. Y'all definitely came a long way in the set. You established yourself. You came through the door, humble in some cases, and you're here. So, and let me tell you something, the brothers, we appreciate the fact that y'all here and that y'all definitely brought the flavor to the set and gave us the reason to come out to those next events, as Kate was saying. So just real quick, I mean, and it's let me tell you something. Like you look at right now what's happening, the unity amongst the females, they have a very strong movement, because you look at these different rides, the all-female ride and the black chicks who ride and green chicks who ride, like they doing stuff that brothers are not doing. So kudos to y'all for doing that. Y'all keep doing that. But in terms of your club, take the time to sit back to look at how you're moving, how you set up. And if you got to go sit down and talk to big bro, then take a second to do that. I'd rather have you get righteous now so that you can move forward and continue to do what you do. So my point is, if you're going to do something, be righteous about it and do it the right way. And if you need to talk to big bro about it, then it takes one sit down for you to get right. And from that point, it's all fun.
Man, we appreciate you, OG Weasel, man. Much love. Thank you for coming off them tables red hot and hanging out with us tonight, man.
Stack. I'm ate up, bro. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Big Bone, man. Love you much. What your parting words?
Man, so again, I'm going to borrow OG Weasel's thing on a positive note for sure, which this has been a positive thing. First of all, happy Mother's Day. And ladies, I want y'all to understand, for the ladies out there that are riding or that are part of these different organizations, you're appreciated so much, to the fact that we spent an hour talking about it. You got 4 different brothers from different parts of the country who all have an opinion, for the most part positive, about you ladies. So you're loved, you're appreciated. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. Like OG Weasel said, do it the right way. But that goes for anybody. Don't feel special when he says do it the right way. He's going to tell anybody to do it the right way. And but y'all especially, because y'all are special and we appreciate you. Other than that, let me shut the hell up. I wanted to tell y'all I'm going to be coming out with this new show sometime soon. I swear to God, I'm trying to do it within a week. Y'all hit me up. I love the questions and the comments and everything. I swear, man, y'all keep me going. So hit me up on the Gmail. The email is bone.outcast@gmail.com, or the Facebook is Bone OFFO, and I think the Instagram is Big Bone OFFO. But hey, get at me. I appreciate y'all, and hopefully I'll be hitting y'all with some newness in about a week or so.
Okay, brothers, we're gonna wish you the best of luck with your finally getting your thing. Now maybe we can get your book written. Hey, I'm not going there, but anyway, much love to you guys, man. Take care, OG Weasel. Take care, Cake 1%er. Take care, Big Bone 1%er. Love you all. I want to thank Big Shell from Fast Harleys Only for jumping on tonight. I want to thank OG Uncle Shaggy. Man, it's good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. I want to wish all the ladies out there a you know, wonderful Mother's Day. You guys are why we are here. You guys are part of us, even in the motorcycle clubs. I hope we dispelled some rumors. Everything ain't it ain't all this crazy stuff you hear about. We Uncle Shaggy said, I am a Neanderthal. We are Neanderthals, but clubbing the woman and pulling her by her hair into the cave is not how we're getting down so much these days. Now, if you want to be clubbed and put into the, pulled into the thing by your hair, we'll do that. But that's not how we're doing things these days. There's a place for you all, and we love you all, and we're so thankful for you all for this Mother's Day. My mother died in 1997. She lived one hell of a life. She was a freedom fighter, civil rights fighter. She graduated law school. She did all kinds of things, flew airplanes. She was an amazing person, and my life has been utterly rudderless without her. But I am so proud to have my aunt Bernita, and my mother that raised me, and my all of my aunts and uncles and aunts and stuff, uncles, all of my aunts and those sisters that were not my mother's blood sisters, but still raised me as aunts. All of those people molded me. All of those women molded me to who I am today. So, man, just very thankful. I want to give thanks to the Outcast Nation for allowing us to have Big Bone, and we appreciate having him, and all of the mighty motorcycle club nations that have allowed us to have their brothers on to talk and help get this thing righteous, because we know what it's like for these guys to actually come on these shows and do this thing. We know what they go through for this to happen, and so we're very thankful that the platform is trusted. We come from the biker angle, and we want the platform to be trusted. For those of you who don't know, you can like, share, and subscribe. We're Black Dragon Biker TV, Monday through Friday. We do biker news. You'll see us tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And we do all kinds of MC protocol and stuff like that. Follow us on TikTok. We're blowing up on TikTok, man. Tens of millions of views. We're almost at 27,000 subscribers. My God, we had 5 million views almost this week. So people are liking the videos that we're doing over there on TikTok. Go over there and join us. Please support us on Instagram, Black Dragon Biker TV on Instagram, Black Dragon Biker TV on TikTok, Black Dragon Biker TV on YouTube, and Black Dragon Biker on Facebook. Please like these programs, these platforms. Please subscribe and please share from them. That helps us out a lot. We have on our podcast, which is the Dragon's Lair, LAIR, the Dragon's Lair, Motorcycle Chaos. Everywhere you get podcasts, we're there. We're on Spotify. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on iTunes. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere you get your podcasts. Our daily news magazine, where you can read our stories, is bikerliberty.com. And bikerliberty.com is our daily news magazine that we want you to go there and get your daily news from. We're looking for writers. If you want to write for our magazine and our Facebook page, Black Dragon Biker, we need writers. I'm looking for writers for more people to help us come up with more righteous content. And we also need some more hosts for this show here, the Black Dragons Sunday Roundtable. I need more hosts. I want hosts from all sides. I want one percenters, outlaws. I want Christian clubs. I want co-ed club representatives. I want traditional MC representatives. I want folks from the whole motorcycle club diaspora to participate on the roundtable. So hit me up at Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com, Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com, and let me know what it is that you can provide, and we're going to get you on and get you into this. This is you guys' show, so we're hoping we're doing great things out there. And I wanted to announce my new book coming, which is called The Social Club Bible. So that should be out here pretty soon. The Social Club Bible, Social Clubs Bible, talking about the social clubs on the biker set as we have spoken about them tonight. The history and all of that kind of stuff, a lot of stuff that a lot of you women in social clubs don't have any idea about when we talk about that. It's going to blow you away, all the information that's packed in the Social Clubs Bible. All right. That's it. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. I'm Black Dragon. See you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Thanks for tuning in. And get skinny. And hey, look, man, get the book, man. Get the book, get the book, get the book. We've got Prospects Bible, How to Join a Traditional Motorcycle Club. We've got Public Relations Officers Bible, How to Manage the Public Relations of the Motorcycle Club. We've got Sergeant at Arms Bible, How to Be a Sergeant at Arms for a Motorcycle Club. We've got Prospects Bible for Women's Motorcycle Clubs, and we've got the President's Bible. Hey, man, get the book, get the book, get the book. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book. Okay, here. Let's check this out real quick. You know, I've been talking about my hero soap. I wanted to show you guys. Here's my empty bag of my hero soap. I actually use this stuff. I'm going to do a commercial with me in the shower. You guys will like that, won't you? Won't you guys like seeing me in the shower? I'm going to have a model with me, you know, some sort of maybe 2 or 3 models around me. I don't know if you guys remember the commercials that used to have Joe Namath in them. Great balls of comfort with Noxzema. You remember those commercials? Are you guys old enough for that? Where he had these models around him. He's in the shower and he's got this Noxzema cream. Yeah. So I'm going to do me some, you guys want to see me naked, right? So anyway, this Hero Soap Company, I use this stuff. They sent it to me. I used it. And it's awesome stuff. And what I like about it, and, you know, I'll just be kind of cool with this, is that it's manly. It smells good. They got all kinds of soaps. They've got lavender and all these kind of manly smells. Tea tree, cool spearmint. The woods, they have body washes now, which is new for them. They didn't have the body washes when they first contacted me, but they got them now. What I like about these folks is that they give a percentage of their sales back to charities that are focused on helping veterans and first responders. So that's, they say, we want to thank you for helping us support our veterans. So if you, and first responders, so if you buy some of this soap, they're going to send, you can get a subscription. That's the other thing. You can get a soap subscription, like you can get a razor blade subscription. And if you buy their soap, a few things happen. One, they send, you get some soap to wash your ass. They get some money, that part of it they're going to give to veterans and first responders. And if you use the discount code Black Dragon, which is what we're hoping you use, they will give a percentage to us as well. which helps keeps the show supported. So good on them, good on you, good on us. And of course, you guys know I love these rings. My sister accused me of having demonic rings. How you gonna accuse me? She told me she was terrified of my rings, and she said each ring was more demonic than the one that I would previously put on. Each one was more terrifying than the previous one. And I don't understand how she could say that about my rings. My rings are cool. You know, you gotta have some cool rings if you're these are my rings, man. So if you like rings, like I like rings, biker rings, you can go here to Gothic Rings, gthic.com. Just like with the soap company, if you use your discount code of Black Dragon, you get you a very cool discount, 20% in this case. I like the Medusa ring, man. They got some very cool rings here. They got Masonic rings, So use these folks. They're pewter and all kind of stuff, silver, actual silver in these rings, and they've got stainless steel rings. Man, their rings are the bomb. I like them. I wear them. So get you some. Get you some, man. Get you some.
You are fake news.
Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker news you can trust.
Biker news you can trust.
Biker news you can trust. Biker news you can trust.